So I don't know like the full tea on like how that stuff happened. Like I don't know why Sarah doesn't like Gravy. I just remember that was like a plot point in that whole thing. Is that like I think Siren mentioned it to me. Is that like Sarah doesn't really like Gravy. So I called Sarah when you guys were trotting out about him fixing you, and I was like, what do you mean you're gonna fix Hazel? Because I love whatever's wrong with her, even though she does ERP too much, low key. And then he like called me over to the stall and he was like, what's like, and he started asking me, I don't remember the verbatim, but he started asking me about you and Gravy. And I was kind of like, huh?
Oh,
and
God.
I was like, and so I kind of like, I'm gonna be honest, girl, I tried to like, I don't know, I gave him $1 and I told him that it's therapy client privilege because I really didn't want him to go stir. But I still tried to be like, oh, I think it's just Hazel flirting with him because I didn't want him to like go and like try to break up Siren and Gravy because I mean I do think Gravy flirts with you. I think you guys flirt with each other.
You told him you
But,
think I'm flirting with him?
oh, I said I think you flirt with everybody, and I think you have a natural, vibe. But yeah, I do think you. I mean, you literally like stopped talking to Gravy for a couple days because you didn't want to flirt with him anymore.
Yeah, a lot of things changed. I don't see Gravy in that picture anymore just because it annoys me how much everyone involves themselves in our friendship. And it also annoys me how much of like, and I say this in the most respectful way, his mindset annoys me a lot. I don't like the way he's thinking. I don't know. I don't like that he's letting people walk all over him but then Sedge farms it instead of like stepping up. And I don't like the marriage because it seems like too many people are having a say in it, and like I don't know. It seems just weird to me, but what he said to me and the way he's like one day like completely talking to me and asking me if I'm mad at him, and then the next day just completely ignores me and stuff. That's just, it seems like it's something outside of my knowledge that is going on, and I really don't fuck with that. I am getting dragged into something I'm not even a part of.
I also told him that. I was like, I mean, she flirts, but I don't think she actually wants anything out of it. I don't think she wants anything out of it with anybody.
You shouldn't have told him that, I can't lie.
Why?
Because I feel like it's just gonna get 10 times worse now.
Well, he told me I could sue him.
I don't trust him.
I gave him $1.
I really don't trust him.
I don't either, and that's why I wanted to come and tell you.
Well, you don't trust him, but then you're telling him I'm flirting with him.
Well, I kind of clocked it a little late. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Well, yeah,
I don't like because he was like, "What about Gravy and Hazel?" I was like, "Oh yeah, like she flirts with him," and then he kept asking questions, and I was kind of like, "Oh," and it got weird.
It's just, the vibe was weird because he was like, I was talking about Ray and Brad, and then he
went out of his way to bring up Gravy.
Yeah,
and then he told me that you came to the shop to ask for tea. He didn't tell me you called him.
No,
and then he told me that you started talking about cops and stuff, and then blah blah. He lied.
Yeah, he did, because I never brought up any cop. I brought up Ray Romanoff and I brought up Kyle Pratt, and then he started talking about cops. And then
did you also ask him for therapy? Because he told me you initiated basically everything.
Oh yeah, I said no. Well, I said, hey, can you therapy my daddy issues? And he said, yeah, I got you.
I was like, at some point, I was even like, this feels like you're trying to stir something, not like. And I started talking to you, thinking you're trying to help my friend.
I'm so suspicious of him. So what I'm trying to do is I'm just gonna Uno reverse this and start flirting with him.
Well, now I'm worried I said too much to him.
You probably did, but it's okay because you didn't know. It's okay. At this point, it's cooked anyway, and if I'm not gonna be friends with V at this point, I'm okay with it. I can't fix anything that is going on in his marriage and whatever Sayer has to do with that. And I don't. If he doesn't want help, I can't help him. Do you know what I mean?
Right. So Sayer torpedoes or stars their relationship. It's like not really your problem.
I mean, it depends if V wants to talk to me. But yesterday, for example, me and Kirk had a really funny plan, and I was like, "Oh, let me involve V in it as a cop because like he's always funny." I called him. I didn't even like didn't pick up nothing, not a text, nothing, and I was like, "Okay," and I just left it at that. But like, I don't know. I feel like maybe I'm reading the room wrong, and maybe I just have different kind of friendships than he has, and maybe I don't know. It's just so weird. I don't understand V. He's confusing.
He didn't
I
text you at all. I mean, maybe he was just like on a call or like even on the ground.
I called him
I forgot.
twice that day. I called him because I was doing news and I was sitting in front of the news and there was a chase going on, and then I saw them having a situation, and then I texted him, "I see you," but he ignored it. I don't know. I don't want to also not
Right.
like maybe I'm pushing boundaries. Maybe I'm reading the room wrong. That could be it too.
Well, what changed? Because because you told me you like had a talk with him and you were like, like, you know, you cut things off.
Yeah,
Because
and
you
then
felt like, you know, the flirty vibe, whatever, whether it's people thinking that or whatever.
and then
It's like disrespectful.
I was like distant to him, but then he texted me, "What is your issue?" And I was like, "What do you mean? What
Well,
is
didn't
my?"
you tell him?
Huh?
Didn't you tell him what the issue was? The issue was
Well, yeah.
that you were gonna take space.
No, he literally after that talk, he texted me because were you at this? You were at the senior bonds thing where we all beat each other up, right?
Oh, that you're gonna have to be more specific. That sounds like every fucking day.
No, when like it became a huge thing with New Babylon and New Babylon.
Yes, I was the day Bruce got taken. Yeah.
Yeah.
Last Tuesday.
And then, where is it? That was literally the very next day after me and him talked about taking space. And then I was obviously distant to him. And I didn't engage in a lot of conversations with him. And then after that situation, he texted me, "What's your issue?" And I said, "What do you mean?" And then he just left me on red. And then I said question marks. I sent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 question marks and said, "Why are you asking what my issue is and then leaving me on red? In fact, what the fuck is your issue?" Question mark, question mark, question mark. And he said, "You're being rude to me." And I said, "How am I being rude?" And then I think I called him and then we had a conversation. He was like, "You've been like rude for no reason," and all that, which confused me because I was just talking to, what's that officer's name, Riley? With the very smooth voice. Riley? I forget his name all the time, but I was doing clownyakery with him and I was like annoying him and I was like, and then, you know, minding my own business, and whenever we said something, I just dismissed it or like short answer and stuff, you know, and didn't really give it much attention. But then he said I was being very rude, and then and I was being a bitch, and then I was like, whatever. Apparently that doesn't work. And then I decided to just like talk normally with him whenever I see him. And then the mime stuff happened, the terrorism stuff happened, and we were basically forced to talk. And I was like, I can work out the mime things into my plea deal. And the only person that is working on the mime things actively is V. So I was like, "Hey, can I talk to you about it?" At the end of the day, it didn't really matter because I got released anyway because Erin was too lazy to do her job and she didn't want to charge me with terrorism. So
fucking uncarded.
yeah, you would have loved being there.
And
I did. I never told you. Oh my god. So
No, Gravy told me more about this than you.
Okay, I'm sorry. So what happened was Carmela was pissed because Aaron didn't really put work into it. And like we were on a 24-hour hold. And then, during the 24-hour hold, we were all around for like a lot, right? We were in prison around doing stuff. And then the girls were like, I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. Because like it was like 3-4 hours later. After that, Aaron calls and comes up and like sits with a marshal there and interviews me about the situation. And then the next day I wake up and it's like, oh, you guys are on another 24-hour hold. And then Carmela was like, why? And they're like, because we have to interview you guys and rate you guys. And then Carmela crashed out and she was like, well, what did you do the whole day yesterday? We were around and waiting and no one came up and all that. And then she was like, do your job. Oh my God, it was so crazy. Carmela stood on business. She was like, I don't understand why
are you guys getting raided?
They wanted to see if we had more explosives. And
so
they also
having an explosive once is an excuse to raid someone?
Apparently. And
That's
what she did is
insane.
No,
That's
wait.
insane.
What's even more insane is Ray Romanov woke up in prison after everything happened, by the way. We didn't even know he was in jail. He was in jail because the day before he shot cops and he slept in jail for his sentence. He slept his sentence off. He wakes up the next day, walks towards us and he's like, hey guys. And we're like, what the fuck are you doing here? And he's like, shot cops yesterday and stuff. And he had no clue what happened. And we we're just talking and he leaves. And Aaron Carter calls him and is like, Ray, why did you hand them the bomb?
What?
And Ray is like, what bomb? Why? How do you? That doesn't even make sense. And then she was like asking me if Ray like gave us the bomb. I was like, no, Carmela had it. Like it was all Carmela. Why would you try to push that on Ray Romanov?
You got raided because Carmela had a bomb?
Mm-hmm. She didn't believe me that we didn't know that we didn't have any bomb, that Carmela had a bomb, because how it happened was Carmela didn't win mayorship. She threw a Molotov into people.
Yeah, I heard, yeah.
Yeah, she got arrested. And then I was with Gigi, and Gigi was upset that Carmela didn't win. And so I was like, okay, let's do some clown yuckery and jump into prison, to make Carmela stay. It was me, Gigi, and Carla. We jumped into prison. And, the riot already started without us even really wanting to do any, because they saw us jumping in, which makes sense, right? And I was like, fuck, might as well double down on it. So we knocked out the DOC and then stole their guns and then took someone hostage. And then we were like, okay, we're gonna double down on this. And then we went on the bridge with the hostage. And then Carmela kept saying, I have a bomb. And I was like, yeah, she has a bomb. And then she actually planted a bomb. And I turned around. I was like, Carmela, what the fuck? You have a bomb? She said, I told you, girl.
How did you get raided for that?
I don't know. I didn't really fight against it. I was like, whatever, do whatever your heart desires. But I lost my med table and guns. I really didn't want to discuss with Aaron because I had a feeling that if
They didn't even charge you with terrorism and they raided you?
Yep. Even though Carmela said this, bring Denzel down here so he can see what he did. And then after we got shut down, she said this was terrorism, just letting politically motivated, just letting you guys know. None of us got terrorism.
That's insane logic. Okay.
And then, yeah, that kind of situation made us like talk. And then after I got released, me and V went to the PD to give him a statement about the whole mime situation. And then after me giving the whole statement, he asked me if I'm mad at him. And I said, what makes you think that? And he's like...
in the police interrogation?
Well, he turned off the recording.
Okay.
I
Goddamn
said,
audience, jeez, I'm fucking crow.
and then I said, what makes you think that? And then he said, you know, just the way the things went. And then I crashed out on him. And I yelled at him a lot. And then we talked about things. And it seemed like, okay, like, it seemed like we're, you know, on the same page on things and we're just gonna be friends. And then the next day, I found out that Marley was, like, almost dead. And let me see.
Yeah,
where is
Marley's
it?
dead from different. I thought he was in there from the mime shit, but apparently he's fucking not.
Gabby, Tic Tac, and Cheese tortured him. So he kept mentioning, like, that he doesn't have any friends and he lost his friends and, like, all that. And I was like, we have to talk
Food,
about
gravy?
this. Yeah. And then I was like, let me know when you're free so we can talk about this. And then he texted me done with the meeting. And I said, I'm at the hospital at the moment. Marley has no brain activity. I'll call you after. He said, Jesus, I'm so sorry. Fuck, man. And then we were just talking. And it, like, you know, it was just a good talk we had over messages too. And then the phone call we had and all that. It just seemed like we're actually becoming good friends. And now I'm getting ghosted again. And now this Sayer shit happened. And now I'm finding out he's friends with Siren. I don't know, man. If Siren has a fucking issue, I'd rather have her come to me and talk to me about it. Do you know what I mean? It's so weird because, like...
I mean, I don't think Siren has an issue. I think Sarah is going to give Siren an issue. But I don't think it's going to be with you. I think it's going to be with Gravy. And that's why once I clocked it, I was trying to, like, backpedal and be like, oh, well, I did this, you know, Hazel flirts with everybody and... Well, like, I think it's probably more Hazel, and that's why it wasn't because I was trying to throw you under the bus, but because I was like, I don't think this guy's trying to stir against Hazel. I think he's trying to stir against Gravy. And I had already run my mouth too much before I clocked that it was back.
Don't know. The way he's like, some days he's like very supportive of the friendship, and he's like, you know, it actually feels like a friendship. And then the other days it just feels like he doesn't even want to talk to me. And that's one of the reasons where I'm like, I really don't want to entertain this anymore. I'm kind of done with it, if I'm going to be completely honest. And then I'm getting called by a random ass number and they're like asking me for tea, and then they're pushing the V grade thing on me, and then somehow talking to you and turn it 180. And like, I don't know, man. If people have issues with me, I'd rather have them talk to me, like, stand on business and tell me they have an issue with me than this.
I genuinely don't think it's an issue with you. I think Sayer wants to break up Siren and Gravy.
Why though? Is he in love with her? What is his issue?
I don't know that. I really don't know him that much. That's probably the longest conversation I've ever had with him, was just then. Definitely the only one alone. I don't know.
Off.
I don't know if he's in love with her, if he just doesn't.
I'm gonna make him fall in love with me.
He might just not like Gravy. I don't know. There might be more to that we don't know. Like, he might think Gravy doesn't treat her well, or like doesn't make time for her. Like, you know, cops tend to not go off duty enough. I really like.
Their marriage is just weird to me. I'm gonna be real.
Well, I mean, she did go on Twitter. You haven't told anybody about that we still are frisbeed about that, right? That
what do you
I'm
mean?
The one who changed the.
No, hell nah. Why would I tell it anyone? Are you crazy?
Because we're frisbeed is like, that's the only time I've frisbeed, and I'm so serious about it.
I would never tell anyone.
Like, I'll die.
No, I wouldn't.
I want to be a bitch about something. Can I change the subject?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sick of all these bitches on Twitter.
Who is it?
Fucking Twitter terrorists.
Oh yeah.
Lucian Varthus and the faceless and the
I know.
The Onryo and the archivists and whatever the fuck has been going on. I'm sick of it. Why are they all doing it on Twitter? Why do they have business accounts on Twitter? I'm sick of it. I don't care.
Can I keep my feed real quick?
I don't even get involved with the faceless stuff because I don't want to. And this Twitter shit, I'm sick of having to see it.
There's so much going on, and I just decided to ignore it.
Yeah.
It would be cool if I could be a terrorist, though. I tried so hard and got so far.
You can get terrorism easy if you wanted it. Just don't get thrown in jail for terrorism yet.
No, I meant because of like faceless and stuff.